Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game 5 Paradigm. I'm a Serpent, and today we're speaking to, is it Vaughn?
Yvonne, Threvon,
Yvonne,
those would
Threvon.
be the right answers. Yvonne, Threvon TV. There's a lot of wrong answers, but those are the two right answers. So
Okay, so I'll just say Vaughn for now. On the
I
topic,
Vaughn is not right. I don't like
no?
Vaughn.
Okay,
So
Yvonne.
Threvon or Yvonne.
Threvon.
Yes.
Okay, Yvonne.
Yeah, I'm not a
I'll stay
huge
with
fan of
Yvonne.
Vaughn.
Threvon.
Yeah.
On the topic of a beginner's introduction. So, a walkthrough, holding my hand to start. All right,
Yes.
how do I start?
And I
Okay. Well, since my game is not working, okay. So I know a lot of the new players like to have the earning capabilities, and you talked about land, but how else can you make anything in this game?
Oh my God, sir. You're asking me the question. This is
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll make a video. And this is the exact video I'm gonna make. So this is good for me to practice.
Yeah.
There's a few ways to make money in RavenQuest. Let me see. You guys can see my screen now
Yeah.
since I
Yeah. I see
captured
it.
on a capture card. The first way to make money, and probably okay, I'm gonna rank them kind of in free to play to
Mm-hmm.
not free to play because I think that's kind of like a good way to see it. The most free to play friendly way to make money is probably getting silver, which is the in-game currency here. You see, I have 36 million silver.
Mm.
Flex, flex. You don't know how much that is, but Zara's about to say something here if he's still here. um, so 36 million silver. And you get silver in a bunch of different ways because it's like just your in-game currency, like any other game. I was happy with my 500k.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get silver in Zard says whale in my Twitch chat. You get silver doing almost every like activity you can imagine. Either you're gonna get silver or you're gonna get items you can sell for silver. Kind of, if you go chop trees, you get wood, you can sell that for silver. If you go fish, you can sell your fish directly for silver. If you go hunt monsters, you get not only silver, but then you get these creature loot items, which you can sell for silver directly to the silver merchant, which there's like a few around, or the creature part merchant. So you just get silver when you're playing the game. And depending on what you're doing, you can make quite a bit just free to play, even without
Mhm.
lands. But you can also use your lands to get silver. So then you come in here, and this is the current silver to quest in-game exchange.
Oh wow.
So you can go straight in-game. You don't have to do anything funny. You come in here,
Mm-hmm.
and we can sell, 1 million silver, and we'll get 46 quest. Quest is the cryptocurrency.
Oh.
So Quest is the game's native crypto token. And you can go ahead and convert your silver, which you earn in game, to Quest. And so because that's like literally accessible to everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and for the most part, when you're doing all those in-game activities, excluding land, everyone's kind of earning silver at the same rate. Doesn't matter if you have lands, if you put money into the game, like fishermen are fishermen, and people who are killing monsters are killing monsters. There's no real input to that
Yeah.
that like you can whale into. Obviously, I can go buy better equipment and kill monsters faster, but like that's just like a typical MMO experience, right? Um, in this aspect, right, you can also
Mm-hmm.
go the other way. So if you wanted to, the seas are in their kind of like own unique place where the seas are not based on your character level. It's really just based on your ship level. So say you wanted to come in here and you're like,
Yeah.
I've got $1,000 or maybe $100, $200, whatever, and you're like, I don't want to like. How can I most effectively use that money and just kind of skip over everything and start like playing at the highest level? Um, you can come in here, spend quest to turn it into silver instead. So come in here, say I don't know, what's you dropped 10,000 say you dropped 10,000 quest to get silver. I can't even do it right now because the exchange, uh, the current buy order doesn't let you. But if you drop 10,000 quests, you got a shit ton of silver.
Hmm.
You can come in here, come to the marketplace. This is like the Grand Exchange in RuneScape.
Okay.
So all items are in here: axes or weapons, equipment, profession equipment, enchantments, consumables like foods, potions, elixirs. Um,
Jesus.
but what I was going to show you is you can buy ship parts. And there's no level requirement for these. I mean, I think you have to get to a certain point in the story to like just
Yeah.
unlock your ship in general. But after that, there's no like stopping you from buying the biggest ship, going on the seas, and just being like the biggest menace on the seas. Um, so you know, went off a little tangent about fishing there, but the first way to earn is just to earn silver and
Yeah.
convert it into quest. There's an in-game marketplace. You don't have to go to third party anything. So this is your RMT. Like people in RuneScape and in WoW have been essentially doing this like under the table and hiding from like the companies while doing this
Hmm.
in already. Like so they it's usually not allowed in MMOs. You're not allowed to RMT. But in RavenQuest, it's built into the game. It's built into the economy. So yeah, there's
What
that.
is that? RMT. I'm sorry. I don't know what that means.
Real no, thank you for
Uh,
asking. Real money trading. So
oh, okay.
that means like in RuneScape and in WoW, people sell the in-game currency. So they'll have like third-party websites where you can go and use your credit card and buy like the silver or the gold or whatever it is in game. And it's completely against TOS and all those games, but it still exists. Um, and people have been doing it for a really long time and making money. Like I knew a friend who was making like 200 or 300 bucks a month just playing RuneScape, and just like
Oh,
getting silver or gold and then just selling it in real life. So RavenQuest allows you to do that essentially in game with no like
no penalties, no
with no
bans.
penalties. Yeah, this is
Shit.
my
That's the only marketplace there in the whole game.
so this is the only like item marketplace, and it's
Yeah.
in Ravencrest, which is just the main city here. You'll unlock it eventually.
Yeah.
And I think they made it so you have to be level 20 or something to fully unlock it. But yeah, in Ravencrest, uh, you can see like they have the silver marketplace and the item marketplace. Wait, let me trade with this loyal. I gotta give him some crops. He's our guild cooker.
But whether you play the game or you're doing it by lands, you're not making the same, right? It's gonna. I mean, if you're doing it the other
So
way, where not lands, you're gonna be grinding for a couple hours, right?
yeah, so I'm gonna so the first way to make money was silver, just earning
Yeah.
silver in you know all respects of the game. We're
Hmm.
gonna kind of cover land a little bit separately, and I'll do it right now since we're
Yeah.
asking. I have a lot of land, but what you're seeing right now, these are actually this is you once you get to Ravencrest
Hmm.
and progress through the story, you'll naturally unlock this first plot of land. So this area here in Ravencrest, these are the community plots. You unlock this one really early on, and then you'll unlock this one, the medium-sized one, kind of further on. And even though I've played a lot, I haven't even unlocked the large one yet. I think I have to get to level 75 or something to unlock the large one. But these are
Oh
non-NFTs.
wow.
You get these just as you're playing the game. So
Hmm.
everyone has their own little land they can use, regardless of paying
Oh.
for land or not. Um, this produces a lot less than a lot of the NFT lands, but it'll be a really good way of making silver. So I don't do anything crazy. I level farming. My farming is pretty high. And I just go directly and sell my crops without processing them or anything. There's always a little arbitrage that you can do if you're like looking at the numbers with like you can probably find some crops that you can cook and make more money selling them cooked than not cooked. and stuff like that. But because I'm trying to push a lot of product, you know, I'm trying to get a lot of volume out. I just sell the crops directly at like a kind of lower rate, just because I want to sell it. Um, but yeah, this is your land. Well, I'm gonna pull up the things. I'm clearing it a little bit so we can see what you can plant here.
But these are automatic lands, though, right? These are not actual NFTs that you own. You said, but
These
you
are
own
not
lands.
NFTs. Yes, and right now we're on the non-NFT land, and I'll show
Yeah.
you one of the NFT lands here in a second. But I'm just going to
Okay.
show you what you can put on your lands.
Mhm.
So there's a few different categories. There's farming, which is the one I mainly do. There's herbalism. You can plant herbs. There's wood cutting. You can plant trees. And then there's husbandry, which is like animals
Okay.
and stuff. And then lastly is MOA breeding. So farming is the one that I'm running, and in general, farming is pretty good because there's always demand for farming products. It takes a little bit to kind of get to these higher yield crops,
Yeah.
but there's always going to be something that is profitable in farming. Potatoes are always going to be profitable. Carrots are always going to be really profitable just because you need so many in the game.
Mhm.
Um, Husbandry is also really good. The problem with husbandry, it's got kind of like a lower ceiling, I would say, than farming.
Mhm.
Some of the things in husbandry are probably more profitable than farming, but the ceiling is a little bit lower because you only need to get to like level 30 to unlock everything in husbandry, essentially. Um, and there's not like like when I plant something, it can be up to um, see the acorn, which is 14,000 silver to plant, while in husbandry, the highest thing is like 3,400 silver to plant. So kind of like lower at end game, a little bit less potential in husbandry, but really profitable still. And there's a lot of
Mhm.
useful things you get from husbandry. Wood cutting wouldn't really recommend as a focus. It's kind of good, but you're always competing against people just cutting wood in the open world,
Yeah.
because they can just cut wood and sell it. So it's usually not super profitable, even though it is still profitable. Do what you want. And then herbalism is kind of, it wasn't doing too good, but it's making a little bit of resurgence because they put it into some trade packs.
Mm.
And then moa breeding, um, if you only have a community land, you probably shouldn't do moa breeding on it because it's the profit on moa breeding is like uh there's a lot of variables, and it's like probably the most difficult to like consistently get money from. But there's some people who do it and are really profitable with their moas.
And
So
this
those
is
are the different things you can plant on your land. Yeah, yeah, go ahead, go
yeah,
ahead. I've been
and this
talking a
is
lot. Tell me.
no, no, you're good. You're good. And this is just all for the non NFT land, or does this work the same for the NFT
It's the
lands?
same items
Okay.
on all the lands. So on your small plot, you can
Mhm.
produce the same things that people produce on their actual NFT plots.
And your
Um,
NFT plots are where? They're just somewhere in the map, somewhere, right? Random. Like Runiverse, you have like all these different plants.
uh, can you explain the strength system? Yes, I'll explain that as well. So the it's the same resources as uh, all the NFT lands. If you look on the map here, um, so all the community plots are just adjacent here to RavenQuest. So everyone has them essentially in the same spot. When you come in here, it makes your own instance. So other people can't come and see my community plot. But the actual NFT lands are scattered around the area, like just the map.
Mhm.
So I have one here in Forsaken Mountains. This is my favorite one, and we'll go there just because like the location is so nice. Um, I have one here on Harbor at the top of Harbor. I have one here. I have one here in Glaceford. And then I have one all the way down here in Hatterack. So mine are all scattered. And the cool thing about the plots, which we're about to do, is you can teleport to them. Oh, yeah. Two last things to mention about the NFT plot. Like, what's the disadvantage here? There's two disadvantages to community plots.
Mhm.
One is you have to pay a tax every week on these plots. So on this bottom plot, it's only like I think 1100 silver, which is nothing. And then on this top plot, this medium one, I don't even know what the large one is. It's like 115,000 silver or something like that, which is not insignificant. You'll definitely make way more than that if you're harvesting it every day.
Yeah.
Um, like, but if you're not harvesting it every day, you may not. So these have that, and they also have another mechanic that is only associated with the community plots. This isn't on your NFT plots. It's called labor, which is what Zard was referring to. So this here, I guess I can do it here too. You see this little muscle icon here?
Yeah, I do.
You see it?
Mhm. Yeah.
So this is how much labor is required to plant something new here. On the community plot, everything you plant requires some labor. In general, at least in farming, trees take a lot of labor. And then, if you're doing a lot of potatoes, sometimes potatoes can do a lot of labor. But trees take a little bit higher labor. If you are a person who is trying to just come in, farm the community plots, and then like pick up your farm stuff, sell it, and then leave,
Hmm.
you're gonna run into problems with labor. So you won't be able to just farm and not play the game,
Yeah.
essentially, because you'll run into problems with labor. Now, if you are someone who just farms and then goes and plays the game and does whatever, like goes and kills mobs and does quests in between your crops, you really should not run into a problem with labor. Um, you know, I have never run into a problem with labor. Granted, I do use like my NFT plots as well as this one,
Hmm.
but I have a surplus of like 180,000 labor. So if you're playing the game and grinding and going and killing mobs, you'll earn labor. Just as you're fighting stuff. So just go kill some mobs if you're ever running low on
Um,
labor. And so it just is to prevent people from just coming in and just like farming and extracting without like actually playing the game.
that's the only way to
And
get strength
yes, this labor, the only way to get it is
or
to
labor. I
go
mean.
and
Hmm.
this resource is spent when you play placing an item on your land, open world activities, so a lot of different things, such
Hmm.
as killing creatures and participating in quests, will restore it. So if you're ever running low on labor, just go and do a couple like grind sessions where you just go kill mobs. That's my recommendation. That's like probably the fastest way to just go grind labor. But if you, like I said, if you're someone who like comes in, you do your planting, and then you go play the game for a couple
Yeah.
hours and then come back to it, you shouldn't really be running into too many problems with labor.
Well, no, not fishing. You don't get labor, right? If you're just
So
fishing all the time.
fishing actually spends labor,
Oh.
because it is a like fishing is just a way to make silver.
Yeah.
There's no like what's it called? There's no um there's no other reason to make off. Fucked up my tree placement here. Um, there's no like it just generates silver. So it's kind of a way to just extract and farm. Um, so yeah, so it requires labor. My plot's all messed up. It's okay. Let me go plant my things here that I spent, and then we'll go to the NFT land and we'll show you the differences between this plot and the NFT plot.
There's only three sizes, right? There's no like city or.
No, for the NFT plots,
Hmm.
there's 5 sizes. Small, medium, large, stronghold, and then fort.
Oh wow.
Um, the smalls are going for like I don't know. I haven't checked it in a little bit. Somewhere around like 100, close to $200, somewhere between 100 and $200. The mediums are now at like 350 or something like that. The
Hmm.
larges are around like $1,500, and then the
Gee.
strongholds are like 14 or $10,000, and the forts are like $40,000. So, um, and in general, the progression between the plots is like, you get 4 times more resources you can plant, and you get 5 times as many trade pack certificates, and airdrop, I think, somewhere along those lines. So it's about a 4 to 5 times multiplier every step. So that's why you see the prices like multiply as you're going up. Okay, let me place. Getting so distracted here. Okay, cherries. We're gonna plant some cherries. I really like the trees because 2 things. One, they are very long. So the trees are like 21 to 24 hours. So I don't have to come back here every hour or anything like that, like potatoes.
Mm.
And then everyone starts at potatoes, and potatoes are very profitable, but you have to come back every hour. And
Oh.
if I was harvesting my plots, um, I would essentially like plant everything and then have to go back and harvest everything. So it takes me about 20 to 30 minutes to plant and harvest everything. So, but now we're going to NFT lands. You can teleport directly to wherever your land is. So when you're buying your land, in general, you want to like pick an area
Mm.
that um you feel like you'll teleport a lot to, and it's hard to like figure out exactly what that is, because it's like at different stages in the game you'll be going to different places in the map. Um and a lot of time, like at first people were like trying to get plots near here, but now as I've played the game, I've kind of tried to find plots that are actually a little farther out, because whenever you use the respawn shrines to teleport,
Mm.
you pay silver. You pay a little silver to teleport around the map. And having plots in the further it is, the more you pay. So having plots that are kind of far out there, if you do have to teleport to those far out areas, you're not going to be paying a lot of silver. Um, and so, as you're playing the game, you're gonna. This is my NFT plot, by the way. So this is my favorite one. I have some decorations here. I have a room. Not only can you see that it's bigger,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can see like I can plant a bunch more stuff here. These guys are actually yielding me like, let's see, um, 16 times more or something like that than if I were to plant a banana tree on the um, community land. So a banana tree here is more expensive to plant, and I get way more stuff. So not only do I have more space, but I also like actually get to like these yield a lot more.
You're the only one that can harvest, though, right? No one can
On
harvest
my
or.
community land right now, yes, I'm the only one who have harvest. They've alluded to like doing some sort of scholar system, or having like a bot
Oh.
you can pay for that'll like some monk or something,
Oh, that'd be cool.
that you can pay for to like potentially auto harvest it, but nothing of like they haven't specifically said what it's going to be. So maybe it'll be something that you can put in at some point, but right now there's nothing. All right, so
Jeez.
far I've been talking for a while. What are you thinking? Any questions coming to mind?
Yeah. I mean, okay, hold on. So that was about the lands. I know you talked about earning. And then how many collections are there aside from the lands? You can't buy characters or weapons or anything, can you?
So right now there are Raven cards. I can explain those in a second. There are MOAs, which is brand new. Everyone knew it was going to happen, but they just dropped them. And then there's cosmetics. Um, so the different cosmetics, for the most part, all the NFT cosmetics were pulled in. They did like a kind of gotcha chest system where you could buy and you get cosmetics from in there. Let me see if I can pull them up here. The ones that I have. Uh, Actually, there's a few. So you look here, there's like some ship cosmetics. So I have this one. This is an NFT cosmetic. This is an NFT cosmetics. There's MOA armor cosmetics. These are all NFT cosmetics. Actually,
Oh.
maybe this one's not, but the rest of them I think are. So
Oh, your
you can buy
mount?
those. Yeah, and then there's also like some of these are cosmetic or NFT cosmetics. So this guy's a cosmetic. This guy's not NFT. This guy's not an NFT. I don't think this one's an NFT either.
I like
These
that spider
pets,
one.
yeah, these pets are cosmetics, and these guys are too, or these are NFTs. But
Oh really? Oh damn,
yeah,
man.
yeah, but this guy's not. This guy's not. So I've just unlocked these playing the game, but some of these are cosmetics. So these are like, they're, if you want to go pick up there's some of these cats for like $1 or a couple dollars. You can do
Mm.
that. So they're not very expensive. Like I said, they were pulled in like lucky boxes, and people were trying to get like the really high stuff. So a lot of the cheaper or like lower rarity stuff is pretty cheap, and you can go buy them if you want them. The reason you want to buy cosmetics, pull it up here. So Renown here is how like this is Renown is a system in RavenQuest that
Yeah.
is like a multiplier on all your fame. Okay, there's Renown and there's fame.
Yeah.
Fame is what you earn just by like, you'll earn that just by doing dynamic events and cold eyes, and a bunch of things in game will earn you fame. Based on what your renown is, you get a multiplier on that fame. And the fame plus the multiplier, you can actually see it right here
Mm-hmm.
because I haven't opened my chest here. So this is how much fame I earned yesterday. I got 1 victory in the rifts. I got uh, a bunch from experience, and then I did my daily activities. And here's my renown multiplier. It's 2.16. Now, all of these items, all these NFT items, add to your renown a little bit. But honestly, there's only really like, there's patron, um, which is like their subscription thing, which I think is like $2 a month. Or if you have land, it's just free. You just get automatic patron status. That gives a lot of renown. Um, but other than that,
Mm-hmm.
there's all these other pay to win things don't add up a lot. So like all the cosmetics I own, all the Raven cards I own, don't add a lot to my kind of overall renown. So if you're free to play, with the exception of patron, so if you pay
Mm-hmm.
like the whatever, either the yearly amount, which I think ends up coming out to like $2 or $4 a month if you get the yearly amount, or you just get a
Um.
land and you get the free patron that's included with the land, you're gonna be really close to pay to win players. I know someone who like literally is completely free to play. The only thing he's done is pay for a year of patron, and he literally is almost neck and neck with me. And
Oh
I've
wow.
spent a lot more money. So this game is very free to play friendly.
Yeah.
If you just grind it out, you'll be very close to all those people who are paying like hundreds to thousands of dollars in renown, at least.
Zard asked about the. Does it cost labor to plant on your own land?
It does not cost labor to plant on your own land. Yes. Um, Only on the community land.
Okay. Okay. Is there any other events that are coming up, or like play to airdrop for this game? And how do you find out those events? Is it just on the Discord?
So the game is fully out now. There's no like playtest, there's no anything. The game is just fully out. You can just play it.
Oh wow.
And so as far as like events, the events that they do, there is an event coming up, but the events they do are not like play to airdrop events.
Yeah.
You just the play to airdrop is just in game. Um, so the events that they do are more like, events in RuneScape. Like the next one they're doing is like a spring themed event.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a spring/Easter event that hasn't come out yet, but it should be coming out soon. That means you should use your NFT land for quick farming and community for long-term farming. In general, yeah. If you do potatoes, I'm just responding to Zard's comment.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If you do potatoes and stuff on your community land, you're gonna run through your labor really quick. Um, So in general, yeah, if you're the only people I've seen run out of labor, yeah, are people doing potatoes on their community land and like staying on top of their potatoes, because those will just run you through labor really quick. So if you're playing the game, now I'm playing and planting, yeah. Just go. For me, I like the longer crops just so I can have peace of mind. So I'll take the hit on the profit a little bit so I
Hmm.
can go do other things and I don't have to like be thinking about my plants all the time.
In other
Uh,
games, I've seen that you can go to, say, like a sauna or somewhere that you can rejuvenate something, right? Your energy. You can't
Shout
do
out
that for labor,
Exiles.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Shout
Or
out
or even
Exiles.
Rooney's verse. No, it was. I think it was
Oh,
Cambria, but
Cambria had it as well. Okay.
I think so. Yeah, but there's nothing that you can just sit somewhere for a bit and restore your labor, right? You have to go and
No,
kill
you
mobs.
just have to go play the game and kill mobs. And
Mm.
genuinely, like, I promise you, if you just like lock into killing mobs, like that's the best way to level anyways.
Mhm.
So if you're just making sure you're doing that, like really lock it and go kill mobs like for an hour.
Mhm.
You're gonna like have a shit ton of labor. So all right, be right back, guys, as I'm
Yeah.
going for a shower. Stinky Zard needs to go shower.
Uh, any helpful websites? I know usually there's like two or three of them.
Yeah,
That.
so there's a few. There's
Mhm.
don't do this hard. There's a RavenQuest. There's RavenQuest Wiki, and there's RavenQuest Tools. And if you, I'm not gonna drop a link. If you just search
Yeah,
those
yeah.
up, you'll find them. RavenQuest Wiki has a lot of useful infographics and RavenQuest and like just information in general. And then RavenQuest Tools
Mhm.
has specifically one thing on there, and we're gonna get into it because this is a great segue. They have a trade pack calculator. And trade packs are one of the other ways to earn quest or to earn in this game. Let
Great
me
packs.
plant some
Okay.
stuff. We'll do cherries as well. Cherries have been killing it lately. Okay. So here are the different trade packs. You can see there's a bunch of them here. The like basic construction of a trade pack is you have these items that you gotta put inside. You gotta go
Mhm.
make these. You can make these at almost every city. Like has someone where you can make these trade packs.
Yeah.
So you have to grab all these items. It's quite a lot. So like this is 40 100,000 silver to make one of these trade packs.
Okay.
And the other element of trade packs is this percentage you see here. So this is showing you the demand at that city. Um, so a trade pack, you make the items, and then you run it from one city to another. So think of it like you're a merchant and you're just like bringing items from one city to another.
Mhm.
Um, and if you run it unprimed, you're going to get silver. And if you run it primed, which now takes 10 prime trade pack certificates, you're going to get quest. Or you're going to get merchant influence, which turns into quest at the end of the week. And this is just ongoing. You can do this at any time. The two things that determine how much silver or quest you're going to get, or merchant influence you're going to get, are the demand in that city and how far you ran that trade pack. So, for example, when I was a noob and I didn't know what I was doing, I was like, okay, I have a trade pack. I'm just going to run it to the easiest spot, which is right here. And that's great. And I'll do that and it'll be easy. And there's like no risk of anything. Because if you're not in peace, if your zone is in conflict, people can kill you and steal your trade pack. Um,
Um.
so you either want to run it in peace if you just want to be safe, and like not worry about it. You can just wait until peacetime is everywhere, and then you can run a trade pack from one section of the map to the other. Or um, if you like really okay, so when I was a noob, I would just run it from here to here. I didn't know any better. I didn't want to risk anything, and so I would just run it from here to here. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I ran it. It was so quick. But the distance is huge. It's
Mhm.
honestly one of the biggest multipliers on the trade packs. So now when I've been running trade packs, I run it all the way from Sea Breeze um, across the seas, which the seas are never in peacetime, so it's all PvP. I'll run all the way up here,
Oh damn.
I'll come here, and then I'll run across the map, and I'll take it all the way down to here, to Darzuak, or the other way around. So I'll go from Darzuak to Seabreeze. And so the distance and then the percentage are the biggest factors. So the demand in that area. So right now I'm seeing Riverend is at 144%.
Yeah.
So if I were to run a trade pack right now, I would go from Seabreeze, run this all the way through, and I would take it to Riverend because even though it's a little bit closer than Darzuak,
Mhm.
I've kind of done like played around with the calculator they have, and if they're within like 8%, it's better to go all the way here. But if River End is a little bit higher, so right now it's like 144%, then I would run it to River End. But yeah, the distance and the percentage makes a huge difference. Like genuinely, if you want to, like, if you want to run, you will essentially like quadruple the value of your trade pack if you do it correctly. Um, like if you do a really crappy one from just like here to here, like I was doing when I was a noob,
Yeah.
if I instead ran that trade pack from here to here, I'll probably 10x the value of the trade pack. So if you like
Oh wow.
run it from here all the way down to here, it'll probably be like half to a third of the value, like the max value you can get. But if you run it all the way, you're going to be getting like full value. But obviously, there's risk associated with that.
And you have to travel that whole thing. You can't like teleport over there.
Exactly. No, you have to travel. When you have a
Um,
trade pack, you can't teleport. So you have to go by sea, and then you have to go by land.
Jeez. How long does that take in game? Say if you were taking
Honestly,
that route.
it takes a while, like probably 10 to 15 minutes to traverse all that. Maybe closer to 10, um, like 12 minutes or something like that. But
Um,
now with how so they recently made a change where you get like you have to use 10 prime trade pack certificates to run a prime trade pack, which is like the one where you're trying to actually earn quest. Um, and when you run a prime trade pack, now if I ran that, like
mhm.
I would be making like before I was making probably like 11 quest from a trade pack like that. Now I'd be making like 100 and 15 quest or something, um, running that distance and with that demand. Which is a big difference. Quest is at like 7 or 8 cents right now, so
Mhm.
you're talking like $8 to run that trade pack. Granted,
Oh.
you have to put resources into it. 10 trade pack certificates is it's like 40 quest, so you'd be putting like 40 quest into it and getting like 110 back if you ran that whole distance.
Damn. And then
But
what?
now I'm not going to risk it. Before I was just
Yeah.
using one trade pack certificate, so it was like worst case scenario I lose a little bit. But now that it's 10, I'm going to make sure when I do run trade packs, it's with like my entire guild and we're all together and no one can
Yeah.
attack. Um,
So and how do you withdraw the? So you're converting the silver to quest. How do you withdraw that? Is it an easy
um,
process or it takes a couple
Super
days
easy.
or?
It takes a little bit of time, but just like I don't think it takes like a day anymore. I think when they first launched it, it took a day, but that wasn't like a waiting period. That was just like their system taking a while. But now it doesn't take that long, and all you have to do is click this, and you withdraw quest. You do have to pay 100 or something quest to unlock this feature, so there is kind
Mhm.
of like a little bit of a gate. So you have to earn and then buy the quest pass, which is like 100 quests, and then you can just withdraw. I think you have to be a certain level too, but not.
Mhm.
I think it's like 20 or 30, so not very high. And that's
It's a
it.
one-time
Just
fee.
withdraw this. Yeah, a one-time fee essentially.
Oh,
So
okay.
you pay that one like thing to activate the ability to withdraw, and then you can
Yeah.
just withdraw. So I could withdraw 1,000 quests, and I think now it only takes a few hours. In a few hours, this will be in my website balance. Then I have to go to the website and
And then withdraw from
move
them.
it over to the wallet. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Uh, so that's it. That's the process. So I could take my 36 million silver, turn this into quest, like as soon as it sells. Like right now they don't have a liquidity pool,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just buy and sell orders. But they're adding a liquidity pool, so I'll be able to just come in here and like direct swap silver to quest.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Okay.
so it'll be very smooth and very nice. And that's actually why I'm holding so much silver right now, is because I think when they add the liquidity pool, I think a lot of whales will want to dump into the liquidity pool.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think they're gonna be forced to buy silver because, like, say they had $10,000, no
Mm-hmm.
one has $10,000 worth of silver, but people can go buy $10,000 worth of quest like that. So
Yeah.
they're gonna end up buying like $10,000 worth of silver or quest, turning 5,000 of that into silver, and then dropping it in the liquidity pool or something like that to that
Yeah.
effect. So I think that's gonna happen. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so that's why I have so much silver right now.
I know you said you're in a guild. How do you form a guild?
So there is like you have to buy like guild crest or something. I don't think it's that much. But honestly, if you want to join our guild or want to make your own, I'm a part of OSG, which is 64 Worlds Guild. I don't know if you know
Oh,
him
I know
or
him.
her.
Yeah, I'm in his Discord. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I'm a part of his guild,
uh,
and so we only have 91 out of 250 members. You have to join. And then there's something called a guild crest you have to buy,
um,
um, which is like depending on the guild. I would try to see if there's a way I can see the cost. Actually, I think you can like buy it for other people. So let me see what it costs to buy for some.
and so the guild receives some of your like some taxes from anything you sell. No.
Not taxes. So the way it works, there's this guild crest, which I have one.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to buy a guild crest for someone else,
Mm-hmm.
it's now 505 quests, which is quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um, and the way that works is when you buy this guild crest, it locks 50% of your quest with the guild, and then 50% of it's still locked. But if you leave the guild, you get 50% of it back. And I think the base price of this is somewhere close to 300 quest.
Mm-hmm.
But every person that buys one in a guild increases the price slightly. So because we have like 30 something people who have a guild crest, maybe
Mm-hmm.
something more than that, we our guild crest cost is a little bit higher.
I
But
don't.
that's it. And then it's
Yeah.
honestly very worth it
Mm-hmm.
because you get quests every week from your guild fame. And it's quite a bit, to be honest. It's like one of the better ways to earn. Like right now, I'm earning
Mm-hmm.
from my guild quest this past week. I think I earned like 50 quest. So the ROI on that guild crest is pretty quick.
Oh, wow. And
And
you have
and
to
like
keep paying for that every month?
no, just one time,
Just
one
one.
time. It's
Oh,
like
then
buying
it's
your
definitely worth
membership.
it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
okay,
buying your
okay.
membership to the guild, and like I said, half of it is locked for the guild, and then half of it
Yeah,
you'll get if you pull out. So
like that down payment, huh?
yeah,
Okay.
it's just buying your one-time membership to the guild.
And then how's the content being pushed for like creators? Do you see a lot of it, or is it just kind of? I know I've seen some games where you see some content coming out once in a while, but is there a lot for this?
Like on the creator side,
Yeah.
uh, there is quite a bit of content. The game has a large Brazilian audience.
Hmm.
So a lot of the content is in Portuguese, but there's a lot of really good content creators, myself, and a bunch of other ones that are, full time, like doing RavenQuest content. And by full time, I mean like that's the main game they're covering, not that they're making a full time income making RavenQuest content. So you can go on YouTube. There's obviously stuff on Twitter. There's stuff on Twitch. There's always a streamer. They have a system. Once you get accepted into the creator program, that they have Twitch drops all the time, always going on. So let's
Oh,
go
what?
into RavenQuest. Yes, and it's you get Fame and Ravenpacks. So let's see, RavenQuest. Look, there's 754 viewers right now in RavenQuest, which is like
That's
almost the highest for any Web3 game,
yeah. I
maybe
was gonna say that's pretty
excluding
good actually.
Off the Grid.
Yeah.
So you can see all the streamers. Top one has 167 viewers, 45 viewers, and it's partially because they are earning stuff as they're watching you. So once you get accepted in the creator program, let's pull up my stream. Let's go.
Oh.
You also get the drops by watching your own stream. So you're streaming on Twitch. You usually want to have your stream pulled up, just so that you can like get that one extra viewer. Because you
Okay.
count as a viewer on your own
Oh,
stream.
oh wow.
Yeah. So when you're trying to get like that average viewer count up, make sure to pull up your own stream because you count as one. So you can
I
always
didn't even
guarantee
know
that.
that.
Yeah. It's a little Twitch hack here while we're going. But they always have a Twitch campaign going on.
Oh, what the hell?
Twitch drop. So you'll earn fame, which we talked about fame. That's like what you
Yep.
earn, and it's 800 fame a week. So they do one on the weekdays and they do one on the weekend. So you can earn 1600 fame a week, plus two non-NFT Raven card packs, like twice a week. So it's quite a like 4 packs and 1600 fame, which is
Mm,
a good amount. Like
yeah.
even doing your dailies, you don't get like nearly that much. I haven't been that good about doing it recently, but you can see all the stuff that I've earned in RavenQuest just watching uh, streamers. And so always online. They always have people streaming.
But these aren't
Um,
NFTs though, right? These are just
so the Raven packs are not NFT Raven packs. They're still very useful.
okay.
Um, but the fame does earn you quest. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the ways to earn quests is getting fame. So it kind of is like indirectly a way to get an airdrop just by watching streamers.
Wow. Just by watching.
Hmm.
Okay, shoot. I need to
Yep.
start doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice.
So it'll kind of boost you up. So that's one really cool thing that they do for their content creator program. They have a referral system. I don't know. Have you
Oh,
been referred already?
I don't think so. No, remember I was still stuck on the
Let's go.
yeah, send me
I,
yours just in case.
I'm claiming it. You can do it like they don't have to do it when they make their account. They can do it just after, which is really cool. A lot of games they have like the thing where you like if they already signed up or if they signed up and they didn't use the right link or something and that messes up your referral. But right now,
Oh,
RavenQuest doesn't have that. I
you
can
can
just
always
send you.
change it?
I think you can change it. Let's
Huh.
see. Let's see.
Let me see what else. So I know you said you're in a guild, but it pays to be in a guild, right? I mean, it's not recommended to be solo.
Um, Obviously, like there's certain things you can only do in the guild, like guild wars
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really useful to be in a guild. You'll always have
Yeah.
people like online that you can talk to. Let's see. Can I change this? Update referral. Okay, no, that doesn't. That didn't do it. Okay. I'm gonna send you. This is my payment.
I like that.
Okay. So they have a referral system. I think you do get a percentage of what people pay for, but I don't know what
Mm.
exactly counts into that. Like before, when it was lands and the lucky chest, those counted. But there's other benefits to getting referrals too, and they're like actively, really working really hard to make the creator program even more robust than it already is.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have a creator dashboard. They've teased a little bit that they're gonna like launch soon. I don't know exactly what's gonna be in there. I
Mm-hmm.
have a feeling there's gonna be uh like giveaway packs other than the Raven, like the ones that you get for Twitch drops. I think there'll be something like that. Packs for you to give away on stream. There's probably gonna be maybe some extra incentives in there. I don't know, but they're working on it. So